Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told is finishing out 2022. You won't believe this. Okay. So, there's going to be some stuff that you cannot believe. I don't know what the stuff is. We're going to find that out. I don't like how that keeps sticking up. Let me just. Whew. All right. Okay. My hair is weird today. It's very, very weird today. Let's get started. Let's get all these cards. Let's see where this is going to take us, because it feels like it's something intense. It feels very intense. I don't know why. Let's see. All right. How are you guys doing? You guys doing good? Okay. I'm hoping for like the most profound reading ever. And I'm going to do this slightly differently. Rather than doing an entire stack of like an entire deck at once, I'm going to do it how I used to. 1, 2, 3. All right. So the first stack is going to be us finishing out, or actually us in our situation right now. And then the center stack is going to be the ways in which we can go ahead and experience the last part of 2022. And the third, far right, is going to be the different potentialities that are waiting for us in the beginning quarter, the first quarter of 2023, okay? So did you guys know that I could read like Celtic crosses and all sorts of different spreads? I just never do. Is that weird? I know how to do all the different spreads, but I don't do it. I don't do it. Why? Well, because I wouldn't be Emmy if I did. Okay, you can just call me Little Miss Nonconformist. That's okay. I resonate with that. Let me pull this down a little bit. All right. I got to really shuffle this because I saw a specific card that I tried to hide back in the deck, and Michael said, stop cheating. Ocean says, I think we know that you can do a whole lot of things. Did you guys know that I can turn any baked recipe that doesn't involve the actual meat into a vegan recipe? I can turn any recipe vegan. I can turn any recipe gluten-free, grain-free, dairy-free. Yes. Know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get started. So, all right. So this is going to be 2023. This is going to be the finishing off of 2022. And this is going to be like the right now. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're facing. The things that maybe you've been struggling to, I don't know, correct for yourself. Maybe these are the things that need your attention right now. Okay. So, for some of you, you're playing it far too safe. Okay. You're You are too concerned with too many different factors that really don't need to be considered. But, this is this is an opinion of someone who is just so very averse to policy and procedure. The only times I will really allow myself to fixate on policy and procedure is when I'm actively seeking a way to usurp it. So there's goodness in knowing these things, but it's in how you apply it, right? So for some, it's causing you to be far too safe. And in that, you're missing opportunities. See, I knew Ocean would laugh. Yeah. I'm saying, you know already, I'm like, okay, what's the policy and procedure? That's exactly what we're going to break. Okay. So for some of you, you're taking too much care in the decisions that you need to make. And that it's like you're using the whole policy and procedure thing, or the carefulness, as a way to avoid. Okay. So for some, it might express itself as like, oh, I'm waiting for a sign. And then you get the sign, and then you're like, okay, but I need another sign to make sure that was the sign for that. And then you get that other sign, and you're like, okay, but like final sign. This is like the final confirmation. I know some of you do that. You're not going to admit to it. But, it's one of those things. I feel like it is absolutely one of those things where you're afraid to move forward. For whatever reason, you have a fear of moving forward, and that is really, really messing you up. Okay. That lack of courage to move forward, it's causing depletion of your sense of hope. Okay. For some of you, you're feeling very hopeless at this point, and you don't, because of that sense of hopelessness, you're feeling like, I don't know what to do. I don't think I can do it. Like, what if I make things worse? And, you know, I know that many of us have these fears. Okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. This is just kind of letting you know, or confirming where you're at, right? So, fulfillment, okay, you're not going to have any fulfillment so long as you continue to exist in these cycles of like, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't this, I don't that. A lot of don'ts. Don't. And that's the thing, is that I'm not asking you to pretend that you can do something that you can't. I'm encouraging you to realize whatever you put the most effort in is what you will end up mastering. Let that sink in. Whatever you put the most effort into, that is what you will end up mastering. Okay. So, for example, I go to the gym pretty regularly, and I used to be scared of free weights. So I would just do, the machines. And then I found the courage to begin really watching a ton of videos on proper form for free weights, the proper angle, everything to preserve the health of my joints. Now I'm very comfortable doing free weights. I still do some of the machines, depends on what I'm doing that day. And the thing that's really, like, for me, the way this applies when I'm talking about the gym is I don't want to use a Smith machine. Why? Well, first, I haven't watched enough content to feel confident in my knowledge of my body's placement in relation to the bar, proper mechanics, and all of that. So I'm intimidating myself. Another thing is, without that knowledge, I decided to push myself in a very unhealthy way. So what did I do? Well, a few months back, the gym was very full, and I usually will use the free barbells with a fixed weights on it. I'll use the heaviest one, but someone was using that, and there was a Smith machine that was free. So I went ahead and I went to the Smith machine, and I was like, it's not that hard. I know the bar is like what, 20, 30 pounds maybe. And then I could just add the weight. So I'll just add the weight of the bar. I'll do all these little calculations. And I was like, I'm going to deadlift today, like heavy. And I had no belt. I had no waist trainer, nothing. So my back was vulnerable. And I had just started back at the gym. And so what was I doing? I had no right to do that because I know my back is extremely vulnerable to injury. I had not rehabbed my muscles enough yet in my posterior chain to even consider, y'all, the level at which I sabotage myself sometimes. So I'm accustomed to deadlifting a 60-pound barbell. What did I do? I went and started 100, 180 pounds. Why? Because that's how I function. So what did I do? I injured my back. I hurt myself pretty bad. I'm still in the process of recovering from that. So it's this thing of knowing what you can do, taking the time, putting the effort into growing that knowledge so that you can begin trying the actual activity, the actual actions, so that it's not just, you're not just taking a risk, right? If you're opening a business, say it's a business where you're selling things, are you going to go ahead and purchase commercial grade machinery, a commercial like stand mixer that's like a vat, right? Are you going to? No. You're going to start with your home appliances. You're going to start with that. You're going to make small batches at a time. You're going to find the different venues to sell these small batches. You're going to begin to establish your brand presence. And as you do that, and you begin to get enough orders to justify the expense for a large commercial grade machine, then you can begin considering that expense. I think a lot of us have this expectation of being able to achieve something without putting the effort into creating what we're trying to achieve. And so that's where many of us are at right now, you know. If if you want to succeed at something, you have to put a lot of thought and effort into it before you even take the first steps. It's something that maybe you need to have dreamt of. You know, it's one of your dreams and you want to achieve this. You want it so badly. And as you continue to fixate on this desire, you can then begin thinking of the different ways in which you can make this happen. Okay. So this is us kind of transitioning into how we're going to be using these final couple weeks of 2022. Invisible. You know, just because your thoughts are invisible, that doesn't negate the value of what you are doing right now, which is really seriously considering the ways in which you can go about making your dreams come true, right? There's a lot to the considerations that you have. Those are the ways in which you play out in your mind, the path you will take to get to where you want to go. So, so we have the masculine card. There is a masculine energy, that is very seriously factoring into whatever this is that you're needing to accomplish. Maybe you're the masculine energy. Maybe the masculine energy is fixated on you. Maybe the masculine energy is the one that's hoping and dreaming and has been praying and trying to figure out, you know, all of the ways in which they can connect with you, but they feel very invisible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. It's like this weird, it's a weird fullness of energy that I'm detecting. And so that weird fullness of energy is kind of, it's like it's orbiting you. It orbits you. It orbits you. It's kind of weirding me out. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just, I'm going to just, I'm going to, I just got a olfactory tract, ethmoid bone, olfactory bulb, olfactory receptors. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? Okay. Okay. I just needed to take my mind off of the energy, is what it is. Okay. Yes. Cleansing. That's exactly what I was doing. Cleansing myself of that thought. It's this really fixated energy on you. And it's like, I want to leave this part of the reading behind in 2023. Right? This is something that continues to cycle in, it cycles out, it cycles in, it cycles out. It's something that continues to be an issue for so many of you. I'm gonna just look at like, okay, sacroiliac joint. That's what I tore. I tore my sacroiliac joint. I'm not even joking. I tore that deadlifting something my body was not ready to deadlift. It's an anxiety that's rising in me. This reading's not even mine, and I'm feeling the anxiety of this same cycle of cycling in and cycling out. And it's like this stagnation that has existed for so long. And I would really, really love if we as a collective whole can leave this cycle behind, like leave it in 2022 and keep going forward. Right? I'm talking about the cycle and not people. So if there's someone that is destined in some way to be a part of your life, then yes, whatever, that's something that you're going to experience. And so experience it. But this whole like, I want to, but I can't. I want to, but I can't. I want to, but I can't. Knock it off. Just flat out knock it off. Make a decision and stick with it. Okay. There's a need for us to go beyond the very cycles that we have allowed ourselves to be confined in, trapped in. If you're not going to go beyond, you're going to actually be stuck there for a very long time. There is a window of opportunity that's opening up. And this window of opportunity, I don't feel like, and I don't know why I'm saying this, I don't feel like there's going to be another window of opportunity like this for another 20 to 30 years. Ooh, that's a long ass time to wait. I'm like, but what if we're not even alive then? Michael goes, oh, you're still going to be alive. Oh, man. Okay. So let's take advantage of this window. We got to take advantage of this window. We got to just kind of clear our minds of the different things that we've been so fixated on unnecessarily. Try this. If this is you fixating on a person, this is someone that you've been like so in love with for so long, but you've never had the courage to walk up to them and talk to them or tell them or whatever it is. Do it. Do it. Get out of the cycle. Just do it. Make your presence known, communicate all of that. And then if they don't reciprocate your emotions, your feelings, at least you know where you stand and you can move forward. I'm not for pining away for people. I'm kind of just like, okay, well, if you don't want to, fine. That's fine. And it's not like I'm going to have a tantrum. It's fine. I don't want you anymore. Anyways, no, it's like, it's literally, it's fine. Now I can carry on with my life. Right. So I think that's what we need to get to, that point. You have to initiate this. You're at a place within yourself where it's like you're tentatively initiating something. Um, it might be a business plan. It might be an approach, how you're going to approach an individual. It might be the ways in which you're going to change your living situation. There's so many things that it might be. I don't know. And this is something that's going to stem from whatever started, like whatever you began thinking of this past autumn. It's really going forward from that. Okay. So let's see. And this pertains to what happened last autumn. You became impatient with your process, and because of that impatience, you then began to experience imbalance. As you became imbalanced, you became upside down within your shadow aspects, within your shadow self. So this is definitely a process that's been difficult. It's like your higher self is confirming exactly how much you have struggled through this. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves if we allow ourselves to continue to struggle through something, because that's our way of justifying not allowing ourselves to move forward. That's our way of justifying punishing ourselves. It keeps us in the environments that allow us to punish ourselves, and just a little more self-care and self-love can do wonders for you if you're in that type of cycle. Okay, just really being as gentle with yourself as you have been with other people. Most of you can be so ridiculously sweet and generous and loving and supportive and protective of complete strangers. But when it comes to you doing it for yourself, you just, no, you're not going to do it. You don't want to be mean. You don't want to this. You don't want to that. It's not mean. It's not mean. Okay. I had myself convinced that I was being absolutely a horrible person if I wouldn't let people, not just step all over me, but stomp all over me. Like, no, no, it's not mean to yeet their ass across the room if they're trying to river dance on you. That's not mean. That's getting them away from you. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind for whoever needs to hear that. Okay. Whew. Y'all are getting intense. So these last couple weeks in 2022, there is this strength that's coming to the surface, right? This, I guess, this realization of opportunities that are about to pass you by. And that's causing the lusting type of behavior to come forward. This like wanting something so badly. So now you're just going to, whatever it takes. No, let's not do that either. You can't go from one polar extreme to the opposing polar extreme. Okay. Like, for example, if what you want to do is have a healthier relationship, say with your children or with your parents, or with your siblings, with your coworkers, whoever it is, right? You want to have a healthier relationship and you guys constantly just butt heads and argue. You're not going to have a healthier relationship by making it your goal to do whatever they want and say to avoid an argument, right? You got to find that middle ground where it's like, okay, rather than completely disagreeing all the time and always agreeing all the time, we're going to find this middle ground where like, I don't know that I resonate with that. Is there another option that we can explore? Right? So if you're at work, that's something where it's like, I don't agree with that, but I'm open to hearing other ideas that you have. So that helps to make everyone kind of feel heard, or you saying, I think I might have a more efficient way that we could do this. Let me share that with you and let me know what you think. So that way they can feel like they have input. It's not just one person making the decision. That is a better way to address this, whatever this issue is that you've been dealing with for the remainder of 2022. It's a better way to address it because you don't have to go so far beyond the center point, that fair space. And because if you do go so far beyond, you're creating a different imbalance. It's still an imbalance, it's just on the other side of the board. That's not going to work. So, really regulating that lusting for something. Let's define lust. I feel like we have to what is this? No, do not pop this kind of shit up on my screen. It's ad blocker plus. What is that? Hold on. Define lust. Okay. Why did it change it to luster and started showing me all these crystals? Bitch, stop it. Don't distract me like this. Hold on. What do you have? Ooh, look at you. Mm-hmm. Ooh. I'm saying. That is a gorgeous herky right there. It's making me drool. Oh my God. Stop. You don't need any more crystals. Ooh. Fire opal. Jesus Christ. You're gorgeous, baby. But you look like a freaking dragon's egg. Oh, look at that flash. Girl, you're fucking live. Sorry. Lust. Oh my God. My brain is like a squirrel. Lust. We're defining lust. I'm lost. Sorry, guys. Stop it. You own fire opal. You don't need another one. All right. So lust. To have a very strong desire. It says sexual desire, but I'm going to. Okay, let's see. Greed, craving, eagerness. Feel a strong desire for something. So Old English lust, also in the sense pleasure and delight of Germanic origin, related to Dutch lust and German lust. Okay, what's the true meaning? Unbridled desire. Lasciviousness. That's one hell of a word. I am witnessing your lasciviousness. I don't appreciate it. Okay, so I did get distracted. Oh my God, there's demons present. I typed in lust, and for some reason, it looked up luster, and then the whole screen was full of crystals. I'm so sorry, you guys. And then y'all just disappeared from my thoughts. You didn't even exist anymore. I was just like, ooh. That's why you can't leave me alone in a store. That's why you can't allow me to walk off, because it's going to take you about hour and a half to find me. And no, calling me is not going to work. You know why? I don't know where my phone is. Mhm. So usually what happens is if I wander off in the store, my husband will eventually find me. He will eventually find me somewhere, and then I'll see him walking intensely from the end of the aisle, holding his phone with his eyes huge, staring at me with his phone in his hand like this. And I'm like, oh, were you calling me? I'm not even joking. Why do you even bother calling me? You know I don't hear it. It's like white noise to me. What? I'm not ignoring you. I don't notice the I don't notice it. I don't. Whatever. Anyways, chaos in reverse. The chaos in your life is about to end. You know why it's going to end? You're going to make it end. You're going to become focused in what you need to do. You're going to become hyper fixated on the goals that you're setting for yourself. And then you're going to begin to take the steps to achieve them. Okay. Now, let me say, it helps to have the certification and the training and the experience. Is it necessary? Well, are you going into the medical field? No. Okay, so then no. Are you going into the legal field? No. Okay, so then no. Are you going into some type of trained craft where you're going to be using machines that you need to know how to use? No. Okay, then no. Okay. There are certain things that you need. It's non-negotiable. You have to get that education. You have to get that certification. You have to get the training. You have to have the experience. There are certain things that you have to do these things for, right? That's not negotiable. If that's your dream, get ready for school. Non-negotiable. There are many, many, many other things, creative things, expressive things that you don't need these formal experiences and training to do. You like to make jewelry. You're very creative in that sense. Make jewelry. Put it on Etsy. Create a website. Go on these marketplaces on social media, right? Gift it to influencers who share the same aesthetic that your jewelry is embodying. Give it to them and ask them, would you mind, if you resonate with this gift, would you mind kind of like, giving me a little shout out? Here's a little $20 on top, a little 20 you know and that might be something that will get exposure for your business idea, right? You don't need an education for that. You just need to be resourceful and find a way to connect with other people. That's all you need to do. That is literally all you need to do. So now that we're on that topic, Michael is putting in my head that at some point today, I will be making a post on solarworksynergistics.com. It's going to be a blog post, at which point I'm going to be listing the different positions that I'm going to be accepting applications for virtual internships. Y'all, I just realized as 2022 is ending, I am going to be in hyper overdrive virtually to go ahead and spread the word for our nonprofit, our ministry, and really set the stage for 2023 to be the year, the first quarter of 2023, to be the time where we really push and are known in a way that we didn't expect we would be known. Right? So it's time to work smarter, not harder. If you have a skill set, go to Soulwork Synergistics in a little bit. I'm going to make a post, a list of the different things that we'll need interns for, virtual interns. And you're going to be working either under me, under my other board members, under people who have already been doing the things, but we're needing some manpower here. Okay. So maybe me sharing this and me kind of like, see, my squirrel brain sometimes works beautifully. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and then sometimes it's like, hey, hello. Emmy, focus. I don't even notice the snapping. I don't. That's how my brain works. Anyways, so check that out. Okay. Now is the time for not just solar synergistics, not just Emmy evolving, but all of us, our whole community, we're being provided this powerful opportunity, a very, very, very powerful opportunity for us to push forward in the most profound way. In the most profound way. I can't emphasize this enough. I didn't wake up with this feeling. I actually woke up grumpy. I woke up grumpy and kind of just like, I hate the air. I'm not joking. I woke up, opened my eyes, closed them again, and I thought that to myself. I hate the air. And then I was like, what am I talking about? I don't know, but I'm grumpy today. It doesn't matter. You can be whatever emotion you are and still continue to strive to achieve the things that you need to achieve. And you see how that works? You can still show up for yourself and receive the messages that you need and take the actions that you need to take, regardless of what mood you're in. You know, you can do virtual work while you cry. It doesn't matter. For real, I'm being completely serious. You don't need to be all done up and in your best mood and presenting your bestest self ever to do virtual work, to make jewelry, to, take inventory of what you need to do today. Like you don't need to be in this Mary Poppins. It's Mary Poppins, baby. Oh, Mariah. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that recording of her. It's Mary Poppins, baby. Okay. I got to stop entertaining myself because, like, that's how I cope when I'm in a bad mood. I entertain myself. So I'm pretty fucking funny. Better to entertain myself than to lash out at all of you. Okay. All right. All right. We'll keep it moving. Whatever. So this is about feeling trapped. You're not as trapped as you think you are. That's a corvid, right? So what is that? Like I want to say that is a crow because the beak is not as big as a raven, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, corvids are intelligent regardless, right? So, I would bet that this corvid would know how to open the cage door if it wanted to. Mhm. Open your cage door and step out if you want to. Okay? And from the feel of it, most of you want to at this point. So, let me give you another little tidbit. The world's about to change as we enter into 2023. Okay. This is not a fear mongering message. So don't prepare yourself for that. Don't prepare yourself to hear the worst. 2023 is going to be a challenging year, right? Here's the thing though. I see challenge as an invitation to raise the bar for myself. I don't see challenge as my life trying to kill me, trying to destroy me. I mean, all of these different things. No, no, nope. You know what I'm saying? So when 2023 comes rolling around and, some of us are maybe getting laid off. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about layoffs. Don't be worried. Keep this in your head, okay? This is what's going to fuel you for the rest of 2023 and completely change your life. Keep this in your head, this one single statement. If it's time for me to move forward into something else that will bring me more abundance, then yes, I'll get laid off. But if I'm not yet ready to find the courage to expand my potential, I will still remain in this job. So say that to yourself. If I get laid off, it's a sign for me to start my business. If I don't get laid off, It's not yet time. I'm going to keep plugging away. I'm going to keep trying to save. I'm going to keep paying my bills and waiting for the time when I am ready to really explode onto the scene. Right? That's how you got to see it. That's how you got to see it. Okay. You're not fooling yourself with that statement. This is a declaration of you telling your soul, show me where I need to be. If I am ready to go ahead and take that risk, take that leap of faith and start my business, things will happen to remove me from my job. And then I will do it. I will push forward, because at that point, you're not going to be distracted. You're not going to have to split your time anymore. Now you can fully focus on your business plans, right? If, you're not getting laid off, that's not a bad thing either. There's no bad in this. There's just a reshuffling of where you need to be at that given time. You have to get out of that mindset of life is hurting you and harming you, and you have no control. You absolutely have control. But Emmy, you don't understand. I don't have the money to start a business. Okay, let me tell you. I have a sustainable business. It was started during the last financial collapse while I was homeless in a parking lot. I'm not ashamed. That's part of my story. That's part of how I am who I am right now. I have no business education. I have no education. Well, no, that's not true. I consistently take classes for self enrichment. Don't. Okay. I'm a nerd and I'm not ashamed. Sometimes I go on edX and I sign up for classes just so I can learn. But I do the free option because I don't need the certificate. But I do know quite a bit. Quite a bit. And I just learn it just to learn. And I don't share it with anyone. I just learn it just to learn. That's it. I watch videos to learn stuff, to confirm messages from soul, and that's it. So, do you need a ton of money? Well, I mean, what kind of business are you starting? You know how many of us can be public speakers despite the fact that you're introverted? Did you know I'm an introvert? Did you know that? Mhm. And I've learned to be comfortable with myself, by myself in a room, talking to a green dot and watching letters go up the side of the screen. The only limitations that exist are the ones that you believe in. I have believed that for much of my life. The only limits that exist are the limits that you believe in. So start believing in your potential more than you believe in your fear, and you will achieve so much stuff. So much stuff. Did you know a couple years ago, I taught myself about lapidary skills? Lapidary skills in a parking lot with no electric. Mhm. Yep. I taught myself about polishing compounds, the process with which to shape and polish crystals. Mhm. Did you know I have existing knowledge on metallurgy? Yeah. There's nothing that you can't learn with a library card or free internet access. Much of the stuff that I've learned during that period that really catapulted me into a space of much more internal peace, I learned at a Starbucks using their free Wi-Fi. There's no limits that exist unless you believe in those limits. Whatever you believe in is what you will use to limit yourself. I don't know everything, but whatever I need to know, I will fucking learn it, and I will learn it expeditiously. I will learn it as quickly as I possibly can, and then I'll learn it again, and I'll continue to try and learn it until I know enough of it to be able to teach it, at which point that's enough of that education for me. Now I can begin to apply it. So you're going to have to do this. You can teach yourself, but you're not going to go off half-cocked. You need to actually truly understand what it is you're teaching yourself, not just memorize things. Because if you can teach it, that means you have learned it and you now know how to apply it. Okay. So these are the things we need to begin considering now. We have 2 weeks left. And as we finish off these last 2 weeks, you can begin to really, 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 really set yourself up real nice to accomplish things in 2023. Give yourself the proper time, the proper support, the proper preparation. This preparatory process that I'm talking about is necessary. For many of us, it's just preparing the mind to allow the body to do what the mind knows it can do. Intention in reverse. So if you don't know what your intention is, you won't know what you're trying to achieve. If you don't know what you're trying to achieve, then what are you really doing? I know plenty of people who didn't quite know what their intention was, but they had this grand vision of how they were just going to be the biggest, the baddest, the greatest. And they didn't really know what they were going to do with that. They just wanted that to be able to show people like that's what they are. You can want whatever you want so that you can show people that that's what you are. But if you're not that, then you're not that. So instead of trying to achieve this caricature of yourself, this caricature of someone else, why don't you step into a space of authenticity? What do you really want? What really makes you happy? What would you do completely for free? You know, people have heard that saying so much, and it's kind of like cliche, right? It's cheesy. Listen to this. So, I currently, wait, let's, mhm. I currently sit as a CEO for 4 corporations currently, right? Um, all of these things that I do for each of those corporations, I would do for free. Mhm. As a matter of fact, what I do for Solar Synergistics is completely for free. It brings me so much joy. It gives me such a sense of accomplishment and joy to see the ways in which it's growing. It's beautiful. I don't get paid for that. Mm-mm. I don't need to. I have my other jobs. Mhm. Yeah, and then I use some of what I earn from my other jobs to quietly help other people that I come across on the street. Is it because I'm rich? No. It's because this is who I am. That's why being the CEO of a nonprofit ministry, that's natural for me. It's normal for me. That's who I am. Allow yourself to show you who you are and be that wholeheartedly. Allow who you are and how you are to bring your abundance to you. Stop letting people convince you that who you are and how you are should not be monetized. There is nothing wrong with you earning a living wage, being compensated for your time. I'm not encouraging you to, scam people and do that. No, don't do that. That's horrible. But what I am encouraging you to do is to recognize there is value in what you are, in who you are. There's value in that. Are you a giver? Are you someone that loves to give and provide? Why are you not functioning as a nonprofit? You know, for how many years now? I would give away maybe about 30-40% of my personal income that I pay tax liability on. Rather than functioning as a nonprofit, I was doing this as a private citizen because I had convinced myself I don't have what it takes to run a nonprofit because I don't know. I'm at a point, I'm too old to care what I know and don't know. If I don't know, then I will seek to know. And when I know, I will apply that even more efficiently. It's okay for you to finally grasp the gravity of why you're here and to understand you need a little more life experience and maybe some guidance on how to do this. You guys, I know a person that, actually, I know several people that can help to guide you in how to do things on the business end of things. I have an entire team that can share with you the ways in which you can further improve yourself in whatever venture you're trying to achieve. Mhm. So, after this live stream, I'll be creating that blog post on soulworksynergistics.com. If you're ready to learn, because I've amassed quite a bit of knowledge being in the industries that I've been in the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I know how to climb industry ladders very quickly. Maybe it's time for you to know too. Maybe it's time for you to begin realizing you have what it takes and you've had that this whole time. You just didn't know how to apply it. Mind you, I didn't learn any of this from anyone. I observed. People will tell you your ADHD, your hyperfixation, your daydreaming is a waste of time. It's a pathology, it's a disease. Those are the very diseases I used to launch multiple corporations, sustainable corporations, globally recognized corporations. Yes, I identify as a stay-at-home mom. If you were to find me on the streets and you ask me, "Oh, what do you do for work?" "I'm a stay-at-home mom." That's what you would hear me say. It's not a joke, because that's how I identify. But don't get that twisted. I know a lot, and I know how to apply it. I know how to apply it in such a way that it can be monetized and used to stabilize you so that you can free more of your time to help other people. I used to think it was a bad thing if people knew what I could achieve in a short period of time. Now I'm realizing it's not a bad thing. I have to stop being ashamed of my capabilities. What I need to do is speak openly and freely about that so that you can feel inspired to do the same for you. Mhm. And let me tell you, when I was helping my brother with his heart stuff, this is a guy who knows the owners of multi-million-dollar corporations. Okay. These are extremely successful corporate men. He's having me deal with them. Let me tell you, I can hold my own in a room full of CEOs of multi-million-dollar corporations. I can hold my own with no hesitation, no doubt. And they respect the gravity of my opinion. Is it because I have the education like them? No. It's because I understand what I'm capable of. I'm capable of exactly the same thing you've done. Am I a multimillionaire? No. I could be if I wanted to. But that would require me to put my family second place. Don't get that twisted, though. I could be if I wanted to. Based on my priorities, though. That's not a priority right now. Right now, the priority is being a stay-at-home mom. Don't allow yourself to fool yourself into believing you are capable of far less than what you are actually capable of achieving just because your priorities are set the way they are right now. You understand what I'm saying? You are limitless. limitless in a way that cannot be explained or quantified. So limitless that you find it hard to believe how limitless you actually are. Oh no, sir. Okay. So I have several notifications that popped up. I looked over and these are the notifications, okay? Road to success appears before you. What you've always need to change your life, hold on, is finally here. Waking up to fame and fortune. You've never had an opportunity with this much potential. Ooh, I'm saying. Those notifications just popped down on my screen right now. I'd say that's confirmation. I'd say it's time for you to really step into your space of confidence, really be embraced by that, embraced by your knowing that you have yet to experience the best, the most sweetest, the most abundant period of your life. You're about to step into it. What you do now will ensure how far and how deeply you step into your abundance. No one can take your abundance from you. No one can take that or restrict how much or any of that. That's for you, right? However far you go into that is how much you will receive from that. So, rebirth in reverse. You don't need to be reborn. What you need to do is embrace who you are, as you are, where you are, right here, right now. The things that you see as weaknesses within yourself are actually your strengths. You were taught to see them as weaknesses because the people who were around you as a child were intimidated by you. They couldn't control you. They couldn't understand you. You didn't fit the mold that they were forced to exist in. That's okay. That's okay. Now you're an adult, so you can decide for yourself how you're going to exist, the ways in which you will allow your personality, your characteristics to raise you up and expand your potential. Cycles in reverse. Allowing yourself to exit out of the cycle that we talked about in the beginning, that first stack of cycling in, cycling out, stagnation, right? If it's a cycle that serves as like concentric circle, like a spiral, you're continuing to move as you cycle. But if you're staying in the same place, cycling over and over, if you turn that on its side, you know what that is? Insanity, right? Insanity is being placed on your side, rotating over and over and over in the same place, but expecting different outcomes. Whenever you put the penny in that penny stretcher machine and you roll that, it's going to give you the same damn penny every single time. The same one every single time. Just because the look of it has changed and it's been stretched out and a new thing embossed on it, it does not suddenly increase the value of that penny. It is still worth a penny. As a matter of fact, most would say now it's not even worth a penny because you've destroyed it. It would be better for you to be moving forward as you cycle through. Okay. Imagination, you're not imagining your potential. You're actually becoming aware of it, and you're trying to continue to remain in the same systems that you are in. And those systems are, is not okay. It's not okay. It hasn't been okay for you. It hasn't brought you happiness. It hasn't brought you a sense of security and a sense of being supported. So exit out of those cycles, okay? You need a timeout from the people who serve as controllers. There are some people who exist in this world, and their existence clearly is to serve as a system controller, meaning what they seek to do is to guilt and shame you to the degree that you continue to submit to the system you're in, a system of oppression, a system of abundance denied, a system of self-hatred, self-rejection, self-denial, a system that causes further struggles when you begin to seek self-realization so that you can enter into a space of self-actualization, right? So that's definitely something that, be aware of the places and the people that keep you very much entrenched in the same cycles over and over. For some of us, we have to leave those things behind for a period. It might be family, it might be friends, it might be a work environment, it might be a living environment. I don't know. But for some of us, it needs to be left behind because we don't have the strength or maybe the courage to stand our ground in the face of those things, the face of that circumstance, those people, that environment, whatever it is, right? I know I had to be completely and far removed from all relatives for about 2 years before I could come back with enough love for myself that I wouldn't hide who I am at that point. Right. So, it doesn't mean it's forever. It just means you need to realize what you need right now and to honor what that need is. Okay. Be fearless in this approach. Start making these decisions now, and then you can take the rest of, this month to begin thinking of how you're going to implement that into your life starting January, right? Some people think they have no choice. That's a lie. That's a lie. Do you know how I began my spiritual journey to return home to myself? The start of my spiritual journey and the living out of my soul purpose was when I became stranded in a parking lot and I had two options. One, reestablish connection, contact with relatives and ask them to bail me out of that situation. Send me the funds to repair the RV. I will come back to California and do what you tell me to do. That was the first option. Very easy option. My account was connected to my mother's bank account. Easy option. That involved me remaining in a space of oppression, a space of self-denial and self-hatred. The other option was tough it out in a parking lot until I figure out how to get us out of there and then do whatever the fuck I'm going to do. Guess what I chose? Guess what I chose? Yeah. Guess how long I was in a parking lot? Over 5.5 months. And then guess how long I decided to live as a transient in a breaking down RV? Maybe another 2 years. I needed to find more of myself. Your journey home to yourself is not always a pretty one, but it's one that's worth the effort. It's one that brings you through the landscapes that your eyes needed to see, that your heart needed to feel. It helps you to find the aspects of yourself that you spread throughout your life to other people, other places, other companies. The more you've spread yourself out and given parts of yourself away, the more involved your journey back home to yourself becomes. You see, many of us didn't know this until after we've given most of ourself away and have pretty much nothing left for ourselves. It's okay. You're still breathing. That means you still have the opportunity to correct that, to solidify yourself once again. So long as you're still breathing, you still have the opportunity to do what you need to do. Yep. You know who taught me that? My formerly terminally ill brother. Mhm. He defiantly said that. A hospital bed with a heart functioning at 7%, being prepared for open heart surgery that would serve as a hopeful extension of his life until a heart transplant would arrive. He almost died the night before. Very close. They don't know how he survived that. And when the social worker came in to assess his mental health and emotional health, open heart surgery is a big deal. She asked him, "Do you understand what happened? You almost died yesterday. What does that tell you?" "That I have another chance still." That was his answer. Mhm. And the social worker RN was like, "It means you almost died." He says, "Yes, and that means I have another chance because I'm still alive." Mhm. And she asked him, looking him in the eyes, "Sir, do you understand that you're dying?" You know what he said? "I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm slowly healing." And then he got mad. He got mad. And he asked the nurse, "Why do all of you keep trying to convince me that I'm dying? I'm still alive." Ooh. Mhm. I don't know, I don't know if I've given you guys an update on him. It's been a while. It's been a while. Um, if I understand right, he's no longer classified as heart failure. And if you guys don't know, once the heart is damaged, it's damaged. It doesn't regenerate, it doesn't heal. Modern medicine can only assist you in preserving the function you have left for as long as they possibly can, but it will deteriorate. And as it deteriorates, you get that much closer to death. 7% function, back up to 30 something percent, 40%. Damage to left ventricle, reversed. You know what? His doctors, his specialists are amazing, right? You know what they said to him? "We don't really know what to make of this." I know what to make of it. They failed. Failed at what? They failed at convincing him that he's dying. Because they tried real hard to convince him that he's dying, and he would get pissed off every time. He would get pissed off every time. Mhm. He was technically dying. You see, what you believe in is what you will create. That's proof of that. I have all the medical documentation for this. I have all the medical documentation for this. The blood tests, the MRIs, the CAT scans, the chest x-rays, the echocardiograms, all of it, all of it. I have all of it tracking his progression of a catastrophic event and coming so close to dying. And then he was like, "No, fuck this. I'm sick and tired of y'all telling me I'm dying. I'm not fucking dying. I'm slowly healing." A little too slow. And then boom, he's healing. You know how he found out? He has celebrity clients. They sent him to Vegas to take care of a client for a pay-per-view fight. He got into a situation, got very upset. His heart went bonkers. His caretaker and assistant took him to the ER. He's end-stage heart failure. End-stage heart failure. The doctor at the ER said his heart was fine and he needs to stop faking it. There's nothing wrong with him. 2 in the morning, I'm cussing out the ER. I'm cussing out the ER on speakerphone, screaming for an ombudsman at 2 a.m. I want the house supervisor and an ombudsman. I also want a patient advocate right now. Screaming at the ER doc. And then something clicked in my head like, they would know. His test results would show. Why are they saying he's faking it? And then I was like, hey, did you get your test back? He's like, I don't know. They're trying to kick me out. Because he was worried. And I was like, wait. No, they're not, they didn't kick him out. They kept him overnight. But I looked at his results and I'm like, you don't have heart failure according to your blood work. Yeah, that doctor was a dick. He tried to accuse my brother of being a homeless guy just looking for a place to sleep that night. Ooh, yo, if you could have heard that conversation on the phone. I was like, excuse me, sir, before I report you to the state for ill treatment of a dying cardiac patient, I would like you and your entire staff to know he has a celebrity client fighting a multi-million-dollar pay-per-view fight at MGM tomorrow. I promise you he's not homeless. Okay? He's not homeless. Homeless people don't have personal assistants. I was so pissed. Oh my God. But that's the thing, you guys. Getting back on track, it's like he refused to believe the limitations that other people, even specialists, okay, specialists, he refused to believe them. What you believe in is what you will live. What you believe in is what you will live. So start believing in your worthiness to live a beautiful life, a life of stability, a life of comfort. Now, it's going to be pointless to try and make it a goal to live a comfortable, easy life. I mean, life is never easy. You're always going to come across something that creates some type of disharmony, distortion within you. So living a stable life, a peaceful life of learning and growth. Lovely. So come January, you're going to need to start focusing on these things. You have to stop denying yourself and denying your potential. You got to stop denying yourself and denying your potential, because you know what? I'm speaking on behalf of your soul. We're sick of it. We're sick of it. We're sick of the denial. Stop it. I'm speaking on behalf of your soul. I'm speaking on behalf of my own soul to me as well. We're sick of it. Okay, so that denial needs to stop. You got to stop lying to yourself, right? This honesty in reverse means you've been lying to yourself. You got to stop that. You got to stop lying to yourself about certain people's intentions with you. I don't know who needs to hear that, but for some, you have been lying to yourself so tremendously about a person's intention with you. For some of you, I'm very sorry. Whoever this is that you are in love with and planning your life with, they are not serious about you. I'm sorry. For some of you, There are very negative people who say they support your dreams and whatnot, and they don't. They don't. They only support your success if it's to the degree that they feel comfortable with. They never want you to succeed beyond what they're capable of succeeding. And their opinion oftentimes is made to appear as though they're looking out for your best interest, but they're not. For others of you, you have to be careful about some of the, maybe it's business advice that you're receiving from someone that's like a specialist, or someone who's like a business advisor, business guidance, things like that. Be careful. Okay. Look into the validity of their program, um, the integrity of their business practice. Look at their terms and conditions, privacy policy, all of that. Before you follow through with any business plans with anyone, you have to read the fine print, and you have to make sure, if you are going into business with an individual, whether it's a vendor or someone you personally know, all of the contracts are laid out very clear with all of the components of who does what, how much is invested from each person, the expectations, all of that. Okay. 2023 is the year that we are going to take ourselves seriously. Everything must be in writing. Everything must be very carefully organized. Okay. And this ties into the thoughts you're having about what you want to do, where you want to go, what type of business you want to launch, who do you want to work for, those type of things. Okay. So we're going to stop denying ourselves. We're going to stop with our dishonesty, and we're going to stop with this belief that our choices are binary. It's either left or right. No. You see, a car travels in one direction, which is a forward direction. Whichever way you turn the wheel, you're still moving forward. The car goes like this, it doesn't go like this, and then when you make a right turn, it suddenly goes like this. No, it still goes in a forward direction, but now you are controlling the wheel and causing it to move forward in a different trajectory. Every movement you make must be in a forward movement. Now, for some of us, we're going to have to reverse because people put stones and blockages in our path, right? Okay. When you reverse, make sure you honk your horn a few times and tell that fucker to get out your road. Don't let them keep putting things in front of you to block you. You'll still get to where you're at, but I mean, it's so non-fashionable to be late. Get to where you need to go and the time you need to be there. Don't allow people to continue to be able to access you and your dreams, your goals, your plans, when all they want to do is put rocks in the road to slow you down. Recognize who those people are in your life and remove their access to you. High Priestess of Earth, but it's in reverse. So this means you're still, even though you're entering into a space of High Priestess, you're still limiting yourself to only a High Priestess of Earth. You need to go further than that. For many of us, we think that spiritual purpose has to always be like either I'm going to be a meditation guide, or I'm going to teach people energy work, or, I'm going to heal people with my hands. And no. Whatever you do with passion and conviction is spiritual work. Did you know that in some instances, when I'm cussing motherfucker out, I'm cussing someone out, I'm putting them back in their place because they've grown a little too big for their britches in front of me like that. That's still spiritual work because I am communicating my sovereignty with passion and conviction. That is spiritual work right there. Did you know when I play with my crystals, that's spiritual work? I'm doing so passionately with conviction. Anything you do with passion and conviction is spiritual work. So, what's your favorite thing to do with passion and conviction? You like to bake? You like to cook? I think that might be your purpose. That might be your soul's purpose. You know how many people are starving in this world? Starving for meals that are charged with passion and love. It's so much more than what we've limited ourselves to think it is. You like to repair roller skates? You're very passionate and have a conviction about roller skates? That's spiritual work. You like to make fishing lures? That's spiritual work. Stop thinking the only worthy type of goal is to save the world. The world doesn't need to be saved. The world needs to be taught how to function as sovereigns coming together. Let me repeat that. The world does not need to be saved. We need to reach out and connect with each other so we can return back to our space of sovereignty, a space of accountability, responsibility. And the world changes. We do that, the world changes. For those of you who have been with me for some time, even if it's just a few weeks and you've been watching me every time I'm live, you've watched all of my videos, has your life changed? And it's okay if it hasn't. But I'm curious, for those, who feel comfortable sharing, has your life changed since you've been listening to me babbling on live streams? If it has changed, how has it changed? And you don't have to have had a session with me. These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Has the way you see your world, your life, your environment, has that shifted? If not, you're wasting your time with me. Totally serious. You're wasting your time with me. There's someone else that can help shift the way you see yourself in your world. You see, that's what makes me different than other people who live stream. I'm not here to build an audience. I'm here to empower you so you can join me and be my equal. Walk side by side, shoulder to shoulder. I'm not interested in being worshipped or even being placed on a pedestal. I don't like that kind of shit. I don't like that kind of shit, So if your life hasn't changed, if you don't feel shifting inside you when I talk, even if it's just like, this girl crazy, what the fuck is she talking about? It's time for you to find someone who can do that for you. I'm okay if it's not me. Truly, I'm okay if I don't affect you in a way that causes your profoundness to rise to the surface. But I want that to happen for you. Regardless of who does it, I want that to happen for you. I want change in the world so badly that I don't need to be the one to change the world. I just want to witness it happen in this lifetime. If we all enter into this space where it's like you want to see that change so badly that it's no longer about ego, it's no longer about you receiving credit for things and blah 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 blah. It becomes this thing of like, we're doing it together. We're doing it. We're creating the actual change. That's all I'm interested in. The actual change. I'm also interested in donuts. I want some donuts right now. I don't know why. It just popped in my head. Krispy Kreme with a hot light. I can't have any of that shit. It's garbage. It'll kill me slowly, painfully. I'm serious. It'll literally kill me, like slowly and painfully. It would. It would. It's not even worth it. There's some things that's worth hurting for, not Krispy Kreme. No, not that one. That would get me messed up. Okay, fertility in reverse. I'm wondering if you are struggling to create something because you keep thinking you need another person to help you create that, right? Are you waiting for a twin flame? Is that what it is? Your twin flame that you're waiting for that's going to save your life and like solve all your problems. They're having an existential crisis right now. They're busy. Okay. They're having a meltdown about their life and their lack of achievements and whatever situation they're trapped in. And they're not mentally stable enough right now to approach you. Leave them alone. I'm not joking. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. You guys are mirroring each other's instability right now. And, you know, we will get through this. But if you're going to wait for someone to save you from something they can't save themselves from, you're not going to go anywhere. Let's make an analogy. You're in the ocean, you've fallen off the boat, you were on the boat with your twin flame, your love of your life, and you fell off the boat. You can't swim. I mean, you have a life jacket, so you're not sinking, but you can't swim. You're in the ocean, you're freaked out, and you're screaming for your twin to jump into the ocean and save you. That motherfucker can't swim either. Ah, he can't swim. You want him to drown? You have the only life jacket. You have the only life jacket. So, you know what you need to do? You need to start using the appendages that the good Lord has given you and swim your ass back to the boat. These are some of the hand movements. Okay. And then with your feet, you're going to kick, kick. And then eventually you float your ass back to the boat. Okay. Apply that analogy to your day-to-day life and you'll understand how to get yourself out of the situation that you're in. It requires you, not someone who's going to drown to prove what? I can't do a butterfly stroke. I can't swim. I'm saying. Hopefully my twin can swim. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. You know, we're waiting for someone to save us and they're going through the same exact situation and they can't even save themselves. So, I mean, is that realistic to put your life on pause when you can easily doggy paddle yourself with your life vest on back to the boat? Right? Right. Okay. So ethos in reverse. The mindset that we've allowed ourselves to be infused with is a mindset that robs you of your sovereign power. So you're going to have to make adjustments. You're going to have to plug up the holes that were poked through when that communication entered your ears. You plug that up so your brain matter stops squirting out of there. You plug that up and you can begin thinking for yourself again, right? What is GMO? Grievously modified opinions. Stop consuming that. Stop taking it in. Stop nibbling on it, right? My opinions are also modified opinions. That's key for you to know because why? You never take everything I say in as the word of God. It's not a compliment to me. It's not. You guys, sometimes my logic is flawed. Don't just take whatever I say in. Question that shit. Question it a little bit, question it a lot, see how it applies, and whatever doesn't apply, toss that back over the edge. Toss it back, yeet it across the room. No, Emmy, bad. It's fine. I don't care because I don't listen anyways. I'm not going to hear it when you say that. Guidance in reverse. See the ethos in reverse, the guidance is in reverse. These are people who are like, I just want to keep you safe. Yeah, your security is upside down too. Hmm. Yeah, GMO, grievously modified opinions. Grievously. The grievously modified opinions that go hand in hand with the STDs, spiritually transmitted disharmony. I'm saying, like, we got to stop with that. You know, we got to stop taking that in. We got to start listening to our own soul and letting the people outside of us. Sorry, not you guys. I'm sorry, not you guys. Jesus loves us. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves us. Oh, yes, he does. Drinking my latte foam to calm myself down. This thorn of a card. Okay. It's just, okay. We're good. Getting back on track. Integrity. You need to always, always, always hold on to your integrity, especially when no one is watching, right? Especially when no one is watching. That's how you know you truly have integrity, is when integrity is crucial for you, especially when no one is watching. So, integrity is going to be very, very important. Más importante. And then we have the mirrored souls. I thought I was slick. I thought I was slick. So this is going to be part of your 2023. You're going to be immersed in environments with souls that mirror your own. They mirror your strengths. They also mirror your weaknesses. They also mirror the most annoying aspects of you. And these are opportunities for you to see the way you function and are received within your environment. I think in 2023, I am going to choose to make it a goal and a dream. One of my dreams in 2023 is to successfully achieve the goal of being immersed in an environment of people who mirror the greatest, most empowering, most supportive and healing aspects of myself. I don't want people just like me. I want people who embody certain aspects of me that I'm not aware of, that are very healing, very empowering, very rebalancing. And for me to be able to witness that and resonate with that will help me to greatly progress in my attempt to love myself even deeper. That's my goal for 2023. I want that in every aspect of all of my companies. And I want that to be felt not just by me, but by everyone who experiences whichever of my companies they experience. I want everything that I do in 2023 to be a reflection of my greatest, most elevated and expanded potential. I want you guys to think of what you want for 2023. Be specific enough that you know to a certain degree that it's a goodness you will be experiencing. But don't be so specific that you close yourself off from the things you need to experience in order to give you a clear understanding of the gravity of the goodness that comes along with it. Right? What I want is pretty specific. I want the goodness of me to rise to the surface. I want it to be something the world benefits from. And as the world benefits, I want to feel that benefit as well, and to feel it in a way that increases my personal internal peace and further fuels my productivity and drive. How will that happen? I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm open to the way my life will present it. I'm open to the way my soul gifts me with opportunities to experience exactly what it is I'm asking for. Do I know exactly what I'm asking for? Not quite. I know enough to know that it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to be everything that I've been working so hard to do without knowing what it is I'm working towards. Get to a point where you trust your soul to that degree. I know whatever pain I experience is because I struggle with whatever lesson I'm in. And if I simply commit that much more to learning what I'm needing to learn in that moment, I won't feel as much pain or experience as much struggle. But I know there is no doubt in my mind, my soul will never harm me unnecessarily. My soul will never expose me to things I do not need to experience. Life is beautifully designed in that way. Life is very beautifully designed in that way. And all we need to do is allow ourselves to be free to experience the life that we are destined to live. 2023 is the time for you to stop starting a new chapter and finish the one that you're on. Write this chapter, the end of this chapter, with as much grace and compassion for self. Make it a good ending to this year. So next year, starting a new chapter isn't just a dream, it's a reality, right? You don't need a new chapter. You need a new mindset. You need a new set of rules for you to operate within. The rules you're currently operating within are rules that are beneficial only for specific individuals, but never for you. You know how you fix that? Stop complying. Stop complying. Stop playing along. Retract your energy. Take it back. Use it on your growth. Use it on your healing. Use your energy to begin the process of creating a life that is worthy for you. Okay? So 2023 is looking like a good year. You started the reading in the first stack with that masculine card. At least he's upright now. You're then moving on to the third stack, which represents the first quarter of 2023. There is a connection that occurs, right? Might not be romantic, but it's definitely a connection. And that connection amplifies your personal power. Look at how big their hair is. So that tells me that you're being prepared to step into a role that you were designed to step into. Everything's going to be beautiful. The key lesson here, with all of the instability in the financial world, what are we going to remind ourselves? How are we going to mentally prepare for the potential changes to our life? We're going to tell ourselves as often as we need, if I get laid off, that will be my sign to start my business, to go after the career that I wanted, not the one that simply pays the bills, right? No matter what, you're going to have to earn money. That's not in question. Wouldn't you like to earn money while you're doing what you love? I'm saying, I'm saying, right? So if we get laid off, that's our sign to start with our business. If we don't get laid off, thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you, creator. I'm going to continue to plug away, save a little something so that when the time is right for me, I can start my business even if I never get laid off. At the end of the day, you can't stay in the same place. You have to follow your dreams. You have to follow those dreams with passion and conviction. Some of us will take more steps to get to that space. That's okay. That's okay. Take as many steps as you want and need. Just make sure you keep going. Make sure you keep going. Guys, I got to get going. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on your notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see y'all probably Friday morning for church, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I've been having a hard time waking up. So tentatively, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll meet here for church. If not, I should have a notification up
to let you know what time I will be meeting y'all for church. But I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. Be safe, drive safe, live free. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everyone.